Brought to you by MasterCard. For everything you need to compete this season, there's MasterCard. By Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. And by Old Dutch, the official chip of the CHL. With Old Dutch, quality lives here.
The Storm and the Battalion. Guelph drew first blood, winning Game 1, 3-2 in overtime last night. We'll see what happens in Game 2. To the Sleeman Center we go. RJ Broadhead and Sam Cosentino. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome to Guelph, Ontario. This is the OHL final. Guelph with that overtime winner in Game 1. That was the only time they had the lead in the opening game, and it was the only time it mattered. In goal for the Storm will be Justin Nichols, the 18-year-old from St. Catharines. He has developed into a big story for Guelph on this run. Look at last series against Erie. They were outshot over the 5-game series, but they outscored Erie 26-12. And Jake Smith, he has been rock solid for North Bay. 19-year-old. He just turned 19 yesterday. He's from Oakville. 3 shutouts in this postseason. He had 4 shutouts all season long. All 3 of those shutouts had come in Game 1 of the 3 previous series, so Guelph was the only team so far to score on the North Bay goaltender in Game 1 of a series, and we are underway here in Game 2 at the Sleeman Center. This is the big line for North Bay. Ben Thompson sends it into the corner. Barclay Goodrow, he's number 23. He's the captain. He is an overage player and has led the team in goals and points in both the regular season and the postseason. Zach Mitchell, he had a big goal in Game 1 for the Guelph Storm to even the game up. Guelph was playing catch-up. Fell behind 1-0, 2-1. And then got the OT winner. Mitchell, he had the open net, didn't realize it. Jake Smith was looking for the puck on the other side. Reichel puts it in front of the net. Fabry, he couldn't come up with it. This is a big line for Guelph. Scott Kosmachek, fresh off the bench. Those offensive zone line changes can be dangerous.
Well, RJ, you looked at the first shift in yesterday's game, 10 seconds in. Reichel off of Fabry feed with a golden opportunity for the Guelph Storm. They get off to another good start with that same line here tonight for Scott Walker.
First period was good for Guelph. Scott Walker was pretty happy with that. Not thrilled with the extra 40. There's a shot, and you never know when you put it on net. Steven Trojanovic, his first of the postseason, and Guelph is leading.
You do not see this often from Jake Smith. He has been that good in the playoffs for the North Bay Battalion, but Trojanovic just takes it in over the line. It's a simple shot on goal that hits him in the chest and rolls up and over. And so Trojanovic, right shot, right wing, bad angle, and it just slips past him and into the net it goes. And for Smith, who has just been so brilliant and has played every second of the playoffs for the Battalion so far, he gives up a soft one here to get Guelph on the board early.
And that is not a good sign for North Bay if Jake Smith is not on his game. He has been a battler all season long. Here come the Storm again. Nick Ebert. He'll zip in from his defense position. Los Angeles draft pick. He's teamed up with another Kings pick in Zach Leslie. Mike Amadio brings it in over the Guelph line. Drops it off for Vincent Kraplin. He can't get a shot through on Nichols. The Storm come up with it and fire it down the ice.
Well, you just get a look at what's a very simple entry here. The Guelph Storm like to play that puck possession game, so Trojanovic takes it in, and below the circle, he fires a good shot. And, you know, the guys talked about it off the top of the broadcast, 2 smaller goaltenders. There's the area that National Hockey League scouts get worried about, that when you go down, you're not able to cover the top part of the net. It's a reach up with that right shoulder for Smith to get that, and as a result, it just rolls right up over the shoulder and eventually into the net.
Brett McKenzie moves it to Zanquitina. In to break that up is Kirby Reichel. Tapping for the puck, Ben Harper. He'll lightly send it into the North Bay and let Robbie Fabra use his speed. Chasing down Marcus McIver behind the net. Kirby Reichel in front. Mitchell was open, but Reichel couldn't find him with the pass.
It's funny, RJ, we saw this yesterday. Scott Walker went back to this top line 4 times in his first 6 or 8 rotations to try and really ignite the offense for the Guelph Storm. It worked out with some good chances early on. Smith held the fort, though. It could have been 3-0 4 minutes into yesterday's game, but Smith was absolutely brilliant. He'll have to be again here the rest of the way for North Bay.
Well, it's a pretty good line when your lowest goal scorer on the line has 31 in the season, and that's Zach Mitchell, who leads Guelph in scoring this postseason.
He leads all Ontario Hockey League players in goal scoring here in the postseason, so he's really stepped up his game.
Brock McGinn. Ben Thompson intercepts the pass at center. Thompson was a key acquisition for North Bay. He's brought a physical presence, provided some offense too. He's a New Jersey draft pick. Hartley Goodrow. He gets stepped in front of by Trojanovic. Scott Kosmachuk can't get far. Thompson had a clean shot but missed the net. Jason Dickinson, the hero for Guelph in game 1 with the OT winner. Got it as far as center. He's a Dallas first rounder. Ben Thompson hitting everybody in a Guelph sweater. Harper up the middle. Brock McGinn. He goes after it, gets to it before Nick Paul sent it in. He's at the end of a shift. Woods pass is in the skates of Paul. Does a good job to maintain possession. Connor Jarvis pokes it past Matt Finn, but Finn got the body on Jarvis. Chance here for Lewis. He's had the hot hand lately, too. He's scored in back-to-back games, including the series clincher against Oshawa to win the Eastern Conference.
He scored the go-ahead 2-1 goal here again last night, so both of his goals meaningful for North Bay here in the postseason.
Cross-ice pass. Tyler Bertuzzi just out of his reach. Zipping the other way is Lewis, and big Justin Auger tracks him down and clears it out of the Guelph end.
Yeah, with this line, Horvat, Bertuzzi, and Auger, that's where Scott Walker really makes hay, because this is a good puck possession line. It's got a lot of different elements, tough to play against, really gets under the opposition skin. And with Auger, every now and then you see that high-end skill come out, so they have the ability to put the puck in the net. That's where they match up better than most teams on that third line.
Amadio drops it off for McLeod. A good low shot. That's kicked aside by Nichols. McLeod, overager working along the boards, drops it off for Praplin. He's an import from Switzerland. Sends it down to McLeod. Praplin had a terrific regular season for North Bay. Looking for more offense from him here in this postseason. He did have a point in the opening game of this OHL championship.
And was teammates of Phil Baltusberger, the Guelph Storm defenseman with the Swiss national team at the World Junior Championships.
Blue just circles behind his net. Expect to see lots of number 6, Dylan Blugis, and number 4, Marcus McIver on the blue line for North Bay. They will play a ton.
RJ, we saw a really good shift from New Jersey prospect Ben Thompson, acquired mid-season from the Kitchener Rangers. One of 4 trades that Stan Butler made in his dual role as head coach and general manager, and you can see how the point production and obviously the defensive numbers put in a much more prominent position on an older team. It just seemed to be a really good fit for Thompson moving from Kitchener to North Bay.
And now it's big line against big line. Here's Thompson. Cutting in, gets a great chance, a power move to the net, and Nichols held on to that short side and makes the save.
Well, that's the element that Thompson brings to the table. The fact that he's big and strong and he can drive to the net, has no problems going there, doesn't mind taking penalties, throwing his weight around, but he has the ability to score goals as well. Does a great job protecting the puck, brings it back to the forehand, but Nichols, oh so good in goal here the last couple of games for Guelph. I thought he was absolutely brilliant, RJ, in here last Friday in the clincher over Erie. 40 saves in that 5-0 win.
And he doesn't get the credit he deserves. It's just starting to filter in now. People are starting to believe he can lead Guelph to a championship. He's given them no reason to not believe it.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's 2 goalies, RJ, that until they hoist the trophy will always be looked at as underdogs, undersized, not good enough, and until one of them hoists the trophy, they'll not get their proper due until that time.
2 goaltenders under 6 feet tall. One of them will raise the J. Ross Robertson Cup when this series is done as OHL champions. Praplin in the corner, made a nice move, got it in front, but it was in the skates of McKenzie. Shot from a sharp angle from Henriksen, that was stopped by Nichols. Auger, another LA draft pick. Sidestep to check. Long shot from Ryan Horvat, and that's caught by Jake Smith. And he hangs on. We will take a break on Friday Night Hockey, Game 2 of the OHL Championship, and what working men reach for when they need to get work done. Visit Irwin.com for info on all Irwin products.
Now we'll go to Stan Butler and we'll talk about Steve Perry. Hey, don't stop believing. I mean, this is a club that no one has given a chance to, especially to win the Eastern Conference Championship. That happened, and now here against Guelph, figured they're going to get blown out of the water in Game 1. That didn't happen. It was an overtime game, and for Scott Walker, he wants his team to play the Storm way all day. He felt they had a really good first period last night. You talked about it earlier in the game, but they really dropped off in periods 2 and 3 and felt rather lucky to get the win in overtime 57 seconds into it last night.
Reichel tried to have the big wind-up. Thompson knocked that away. We're seeing a lot of these two top lines going head-to-head in this one, and Goodrow's attempted dump in went off a stick of Trojanovic and out of play.
Well, Barclay Goodrow is a guy whose game has just steadily progressed, and drafted in the first round in the Ontario Hockey League priority selection, went through a couple of NHL drafts, and finally signed this year by the San Jose Sharks. And he's a guy now that could probably displace Al McDonald as the mayor of North Bay with the year he's had up there this year, and just how good a leader he's been for this hockey club.
He's really thrown his team on his back when they needed big plays in this postseason. Look, he was voted second in the Overage Player of the Year to Dane Fox. Tough to beat the year Dane Fox had with 60-plus goals. But in the other categories in the coaches poll in the Eastern Conference, he was the hardest worker, best defensive forward, finished second in shootouts, third in penalty kill, third in best shot. So he is all over those categories the coaches voted on.
Yeah, and he plays in that top line along with Nick Paul and Ben Thompson, and playing on the wing there has had a really successful season in all the categories that you mentioned, RJ. But I think the intangibles, the leadership that he's brought to this hockey club has been second to none for Stan Butler.
Baltisberger wraps it around. It'll be kept in by Wood. He took a hard hit from McGinn. Almost went into the Guelph bench. Jarvis with a steal. Couldn't keep it into the Guelph end for very long, and then it winds up going into the North Bay bench.
First year in a move and a relocation from Brampton to North Bay, but all this franchise has ever known as the head coach and general manager is Stan Butler now. 16 years, and a guy who's got vast experience, a couple of years at the helm of the Oshawa Generals, a couple of years at the helm of the under-18s, the World Juniors, and now 16 straight years with the Battalion franchise. Last played in an OHL championship in 2009 against the Windsor Spitfires, and RJ, there were a lot of NHL teams that might have had trouble against the 2009 Windsor Spitfire, so they ended up losing in that series. But it's been an awesome move for this franchise to move into the North Bay area, where they've got a second opportunity, kind of like the Winnipeg Jets, to get back into their love for hockey.
The crowds have been unbelievable. The crowd's unbelievable here, too. They've got a whole section, and they were loud in Game 1. They're waiting to get loud here in Game 2.
And you can bet there'll be tailgating, there'll be bands, parties, everything you want outside of the Memorial Gardens when this series moves into North Bay for Game 3.
And that's no secret to Guelph either. They know what it's going to be like, so they know what they have to do on home ice. If North Bay can steal one and steal home ice advantage, that's a big key to them. And that was a dangerous shot from young 16-year-old defenseman Riley Bruce.
Okay, OHL fans, time to snap, send, win. Snap a selfie with this cheer card in the shot. Send it to our Fanagram Facebook page, and you could win one of 4 Sony CyberShot cameras from Rogers TV.
And you look at this hockey club from North Bay now, just really loving the sport. Ask the Oshawa Generals how important it is. Ask Stan Butler how important.
And there's a crossbar. Very close. Alex Henriksen on a face-off win got a great chance. Fabry speeds the other way. Crowd cheers as Henriksen goes down. He got under the skin of some Guelph Storm in Game 1. Really would have got under their skin had he scored that goal. Bratina chasing down Nichols. Had to play it. Nichols gets back in time. Bratina setting up behind the net. Hit the skates of Fabry with his pass. Bratina down to the corner. McKenzie. Just turned 17 in March. Fabry, he's eligible for this upcoming draft, and with 45 goals in the regular season and Another 9 here in the postseason, 19 points. You know, a lot of scouts are keeping their eye on number 9 for the Guelph Storm. Scott Kosmachuk. He's got a good shot. He used it there, and that one was up high on Smith, too. This time he stopped it.
Well, RJ, you touched on Henriksen and how he's gotten under the skin of the Guelph Storm here in game 1+, but right off the draw, he's able to take advantage of this opportunity when wires a shot off the bar. Nichols down blocker side, but can only draw iron. And then Kosmachuk, great job here in the backtrack, just takes care of Barclay Goodrow, and then a good shot on goal from him. And Smith, a well-needed touch here, just the third shot on goal. He allowed the first shot to get past him and has had to make a couple of saves, but not a ton of action down his way. So it'll be important for Smith to get a couple of good touches in there. And of course, they'll check right now just to double check and make sure that that puck did not enter the net. There's the wave off there. Clearly hit the bar and came out, but everything is reviewed here in the Ontario Hockey League Championship, not just on site, but in the Toronto War Room as well.
North Bay gets the reputation of a defensive team. They are stingy defensively, but they outshot Guelph in game 1. They're outshooting them here in game 2, 7-3. Matt Finn gets the puck in front of the net. It's in the skates of wood. A little help from Paul, got it to the corner. Not out of danger yet. Wraparound chance by Kosmachuk. It rolled off his stick. Trojanovic corrals it at center. Matt Finn, the captain of the Guelph Storm, Maple Leafs pick. Again, tried to throw it in front of the net. North Bay didn't let that materialize. Trojanovic sends it right back in. Big Smith, he will play the puck if he has to. Didn't have to this time. Brendan Miller got there, allowed his goalie an outlet. Paul makes a move as he gets to the line, but it's offside.
Well, RJ, you look at this former Brampton and now North Bay Hockey Club, and one thing that hasn't changed is the ability to keep the puck out of the net. You look at their goals against, third, 189, 6 of the last 7 years under that 200 mark, and an area that's been concerned has been the power play, 20th in the regular season, averaging efficiency about 15% here in the postseason as well, but did get one last night, and we'll see if North Bay can't continue to get timely goals, at least in the power play, if the efficiency isn't great.
It is amazing to win a division in the regular season with the absence of a power play. 15% tells you not much of a power play, and then in the postseason they win a conference, and same thing, the power play hasn't done much.
But the one thing you'll know about a Stan Butler team each and every year, really good on the penalty kill, which was the case during the course of the regular season, and of course it's been even better here in the postseason, ranked second.
An alert play by the Guelph Storm. They had a mess of players on the ice. Could have been too many men. They made sure not to touch the puck until Nick Ebert got off in the line change. Kraplin from the blue line. Made a good pass. Lewis working against Baltisberger. Baltisberger doesn't let Lewis get to the net. Horvat has his pocket picked by McLeod. Horvat steals it back. Then he's knocked down. McLeod comes up with it. Hands open. There's Kraplin. Lewis in front. Just rolled off his stick before he got a great chance. Miller dumps it back in deep. McLeod trying to keep this pressure on. He knocks Harper down. Steals the puck. Side of the net. Gets it in front. Tries to jam it in. Another chance off the skate of Kraplin. And finally, Guelph gets it out. They were on their heels. A big push by the Battalion there.
I don't know about you, RJ, but that doesn't look like a trap to me.
That is not the definition of a trap, no.
Yeah, this isn't your dad, Stan Butler's team. I mean, he was known for that throughout the course of most of his career, but this is a much different style that this Battalion franchise is displaying this year.
They almost trapped Guelph in Pacific tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. West Ham United against Tottenham, followed by Manchester United against Sunderland. Then on Monday, with 2 matches remaining, Liverpool need a win to keep title hopes alive as they travel to Sellers Park to face Crystal Palace. That game is at 2:30 Eastern Time. 8:24 to go here in the first period. This is game 2 of the Ontario Hockey League Championship. Bratina drops it off. Henriksen couldn't get a shot. Mitchell comes the other way. He's got Fabry and Reichel with him. Poked away by Dylan Blugis. Just another good defensive play from the Amherst, New York native. But look out, Mitchell stole it, dropped it off. Fabry scores. It's in off Smith. Ryan Fabry will get it, and Guelph leads by 2.
RJ, this is persistence to perfection, and the North Bay Battalion have a chance here to clear the zone. But an inadvertent hit here as Fabry knocks down Bertina, and back the other way, it's Zach Mitchell who does an excellent job on the backtrack, and now the puck's moved around between these 3 forwards who have great chemistry. Mitchell with his head up loses it. Reichel fakes the pass, gets it to Fabry, who's great patience here. Looks like a pass, but instead it goes off the butt end of Smith's stick, and he kind of drags it into his own net right there. Well, the Guelph Storm take a 2-0 lead after what, for the last 7 or 8 minutes, they were outplayed, but very good in capitalizing on the opportunity.
The Battalion have been a team that seems to get better as the game goes on. They can't wait much longer. Down by 2 to Guelph. Matt Finn, he's jumped into the play, wants to create more offense. Jason Dickinson sends it behind the net. Lets Kosmachuk go after it. He's drafted by the Winnipeg Jets. Wood tied up by Dickinson. Got it out to center. Finn ties his man up. Dickinson's back defensively. This will go all the way to Nichols. He backs it over to Dickinson, and Paul's in, throwing a hit. A couple of Dallas draft picks in Paul and Dickinson colliding in the corner. Kosmachuk with that great speed. He was 3rd in OHL scoring during the regular season, and again, just putting a puck on net from a sharp angle. Smith saw it and caught it.
Well, RJ, you talk about 3 forwards that are known for their offensive prowess, but look at Zach Mitchell right here. He's able to take advantage of coming back to help out, picks off the puck from Blue. Just now it goes back the other way, and you see this puck movement is fantastic, and there it is, the stick of the diving defenseman. And it looks like it's off Marcus McIver. The shaft of his sticking in. Originally it looked as if Smith had pulled it and dragged it around, but McIver diving back ends up knocking it in the net.
Storm win the face-off. Ebert, good hard low shot. Scramble created after that. Battalion get it out of harm's way. Ebert has one of the best shots, and he used it there. Good roll. Captain of the Battalion has to come up big now. Has the puck in the corner. Takes a hit. Knocks Bertuzzi down. Maintains possession. Signed by San Jose as a free agent. They're liking what they're seeing from Goodrow in this postseason. Horvat at center. He takes a hit. Got it into the Battalion end. Miles Liberati. He's the only one on the Battalion with championship experience. Turned that one loose up the middle. He was with London last year. They'll call a hooking penalty. Coming up, Guelph pouring it on offensively.
There's no question they have the ability to do that, and RJ, we've talked about this line here for Guelph. That third line can be a big difference maker. And you'll see Fabry take it to the front of the net. And as a result, he's still able to get the shot off, but in doing so, draws the penalty as well. Well, Stan Butler's team reeling here just a little bit after some really good pressure. And out shooting Guelph, the Storm have come back, known so much for that high-powered offense, and it's starting to come to the fore.
Guelph had the #2 ranked power play in the OHL during the regular season. In Game 1, they were 0 for 4 with a man advantage. Zach Leslie, one of 4 defensemen on Guelph who had over 40 points. They can generate a lot of offense from their defensemen. Nick Ebert, he came over in a trade from Windsor along with Kirby Reichel, and they have been terrific for Guelph in this postseason. Zach Mitchell drops it off for Leslie. Wraps it down low. Kirby Reichel's waiting for it. Stolen by Henriksen, and he's able to clear it down the ice right on Nichols. Minute 20 to go in the power play. Paul keeping a close watch on Leslie. He'll drop it off for Matt Finn. Head off for a change. Brock McGinn. He hustles into the Battalion end. Guelph trying to set up on this power play. Kosmachuk along the boards. Can't stop it. Drujanovic does, though. Walks in a couple of steps. Hard shot, and there was Smith a foot outside of his crease to make the save. This power play is brought to you by Power Rocks. Get charged up.
Trojanovic has already scored in this game, and Smith continues to get some good touches. And it's interesting in that you talk about a guy who was an athlete of the year in his high school, who's good in soccer, good in baseball, track and field, did just about everything. And it's not often that you see goaltenders these days, or hockey players for that matter, who play other sports. And I think it's a huge asset for a goalie to step outside of playing goaltender and goaltending coaching all the time to develop other motor skills. Baseball to me has got to be the most important, especially when it comes to the glove hand, but you just don't see that often these days with parents trying to keep up to the Joneses and having their kids play hockey all year round. I think at some point it's too much.
Now you're old school, Sam. Hockey in the winter, ball in the summer. That's how it used to be.
It's funny, you talk to all the National Hockey League scouts, you know, the guys, the 50 and older crowd, and that's all they ever did.
Times have changed. Kosmachuk on the power play. Moves it to the corner. Dickinson drops it off for McGinn. Goes to the line. Finn had to stop it with his skate. Still made it down to McGinn. McGinn's a pick of Carolina. Blue just eliminates him from the play. Thompson with a chance to send it down the ice and puts it over everybody. There's a guy who played ball. Matt Finn with a catch like that. You know, he's got some ball in his past. Good hockey player, too. Made a nice move. Got it in front. McGinn trying to tuck it in. What a save by Smith. He had to be strong with that left arm.
There's the baseball with glove hand.
Yeah, a couple of examples right there. Kosmachuk goes to McGinn. He's tied up still. Made the pass to Dickinson. It bounced off his stick. Santos is back on the ice. Battalion have killed off that Guelph power play just barely. Long shot in on Nichols. Baltusberger touches the puck. And he's got a penalty too.
Jake Smith with a huge save for the North Bay Battalion, and working on the power play. Finn goes wide. It comes down low to Dickinson, and you can see Dickinson just hacking and whacking at this thing, but so strong with that left hand was Smith. And then Santos dragged down by Baltusberger, which results in the penalty. And it was Santos who had just come out of the box for North Bay, and so a good opportunity here for the Battalion to get on the board.
Guelph's power play didn't score. Battalion get a chance with the man advantage now. They were 1 for 2 in game 1. Blue just moves it over to McIver. Blue just one-time shot. That's wide of the net. Henriksen tried to redirect it. McIver able to keep that hard clearing attempt in. Stick thrown at McIver. Takes a high, hard shot. Nichols didn't see it. Fortunately for him, it was up high. McIver, another hard shot. That's in. It was deflected in front. McIver took the blast. A power play goal, and the Battalion are within 1.
You know, isn't that funny, RJ? We talked about this Brampton power play hovering around 15% in the regular season and in the postseason. It went 1 for 2 last night with the Thompson goal. And here, this shot is wristed wide. It ends up coming back to the point. You'll see Barclay Goodrow, 23 in white, set up shop in front of the net, and he does a great job fighting off the check from Trojanovic. The shot from McIver does change directions on the way in, and I think it's Goodrow who ends up getting his stick on it. Regardless, the Battalion are on the board here in the power play.
The penalty kill for Guelph had been so good against Erie. They allowed 2 power play goals against that high-powered Erie Otters team and scored 4 shorthanded goals in the previous series.
Get another look at the goal, and you'll see McIver with the big booming shot as it works its way back around to the point. And you'll see Goodrow do a good job getting in front of the net. Big blast. There's the wide shot, and as the replay would continue, the puck ends up going to the front of the net here off of this shot with Goodrow in front.
Battalion tried to dump it in. That was Miller. It went off Stephen Pirog and goes into the crowd.
Got a good look at North Bay being here for game 1 last night, and this is one of the guys that impressed me. And Brendan Miller, an 8th round pick in the 2010 draft out of the York Simcoe Express program, who ended up playing at the Hill Academy as well. So he's got a pretty good background in his minor hockey, but for an 8th round pick, very successful top scoring defenseman for the Battalion.
Stood up on Pirog there. Didn't make the entry into the Battalion zone easy for him. Wood moves it ahead to Goodrow. Saw a hit coming. Didn't get it out. Auger, he bumps with Paul. Paul's lost his helmet. He has to head to the bench. Miller off the boards. And that one's golfed out of play by Auger in that long reach with his 6'7" frame.
An LA Kings draft pick. There are a couple of them here. Zach Leslie is one of those as well. But Auger's a really interesting guy. Had mono at the start of the year, so missed a good chunk of the schedule, and then got back into the lineup, started finding his legs. And you don't find guys with his size and his skill set all in one. It's just a matter of continuing to play, to develop that skill, and maybe just get stronger to add on to what is already a good frame.
He has improved a lot over the years, and we've seen games where he dictates play in the offensive zone. So tough to take the puck away from.
And a late bloomer too. He didn't start playing hockey until the age of 8. Ends up being a 6th-round pick to Guelph in 2010, and the Kings take him in the 4th round of the National Hockey League draft last year.
What was he, 6'2" at 8 years old? Just over 3 minutes to go here in the first period. Baltusberger elects to send it behind the net. Mitchell gets to it. Now Amadio moves it ahead to McLeod. Vincent Praplin. Stick handling against his Swiss counterpart, Baltusberger, and Baltusberger able to win that one-on-one battle. Harper moves it ahead to Mitchell. Amadio was on him immediately. Mitchell another chance to clear. Gets it past Blugis. This will come into the Battalion zone. McIver, the 19-year-old from Whitby, makes a pass. Mitchell steals, gets it over to Fabry. What a save! Jake Smith! That's what everybody's raving about. Another huge save for Smith.
And Matt McLeod should go over there and tap him on the pads, because this is a perfect pass from McIver. It's right on his tape, but it ends up bouncing off, and when it does, it ends up in the most dangerous hands of not only Zach Mitchell, but Robbie Fabry, whose one-timer looks pegged for the top corner. But look at how quick Smith is at getting post to post and making a tremendous glove save.
Fabry's already extended his point streak to 10 games. He was looking for a little more. Jake Smith keeps this a one-goal hockey game.
It's funny you talk so much about Fabry. Where is he going to go in the draft? Because of his size, National Hockey League scouts tend to shy away from that, but there is no denying his effort and his skill set.
Liberati. His pass hit the skate of Dickinson. He comes in with a heavy hit in the Sleeman center like that. Miller. He was the one that received the hit. He's okay. Looks pretty good. Shot right on. Nichols redirected that to the corner. Lewis gets it to Liberati. His low shot was wide. Santos sends it behind the net. Jarvis was upended. And another penalty coming to Guelph. And this power play for the Battalion that seems to have found its groove will get another chance to work.
Just when you think they're down and out 2-0 and things aren't looking good, they come back, get one on the power play, and we'll get another opportunity. Dickinson with a big hit here on Brendan Miller, knocks him to the ice. Normally not a huge part of Dickinson's game. And then Zach Leslie with the takedown. And North Bay goes in the power play once again.
All they needed was one shot on goal in their previous power play to get their goal. 2 power play goals for the Battalion in 2 games in this series. Really 4 periods. Guelph only allowed 2 power play goals to Erie in a 5-game series.
Go figure. You got Dane Fox at 67 goals. Connor McDavid. Connor Brown led the league in points.
Here's McIver. Moves it to Blugis. Open man is Amadio. His pass was off Bertuzzi, and that goes into the Battalion zone. Hugh Suter, who can be dangerous when his team's shorthanded, had a notion to try to pressure Blugis, elected to get fresh penalty killers out there.
And then Mitchell comes off, and that second wave of penalty killers for Scott Walker doing a good job. Mitchell relentless at the North Bay line, able to get the offside call and face off just outside the Battalion zone.
Into the final minute of the first period. Minute 18 to go in this Battalion power play. Praplin Gets his feet moving, gets away from Horvat. Move to the inside on Baltusberger. Those two have seen a lot of each other already. Kraplin back to the line. Miller. Wood, low shot. Bounces over to Kraplin. Still bouncing around. Horvat takes a crack at it. Hasn't got it out yet. Harper a chance. And he puts it over everybody down the ice. 25 seconds to go in the period. One last chance here on the power play before the buzzer. Hall has it in his skates. Brock McGinn almost got away. Dickinson has good speed. Short-handed coming in. Poked off his stick nicely by Kyle Wood. 17-year-old from Waterloo.
Yeah, great job to stay within the confines of the rules.
McCall! Great chance to score and just missed. Guelph sends it down the ice. Smith out to play it, but that will be it for the first period. Guelph got off to that 2-0 lead, but the power play clicks for the Battalion. Let's go to the studio. Here's Jeff, John, and Damien.
RJ, thanks very much. So mistakes and miscues, kind of the story of that period early, but by the end of it, we have a hockey game. Brampton, or rather North Bay. There you go. That's one, guys. Right back into this one. Coming up, the play of the frame. Damien takes a closer look at that period as well. Robbie Fabry.
Every patron at the Sleeman Center gets one of those. Go Storm Go. The numbers and name of every Guelph Storm player, and it doubles as a noisemaker. And they made some noise early in the first, Sam.
Jurjanovic got it started with a bad angle shot that rolls up the chest of Smith and in behind him. 1-0 North Bay at that, or Guelph at that point, and then Fabry with McIver diving back has it go off of his stick. Fabry gets credit. 2-0 on the power play. The North Bay Battalion. McIver makes amends with a bullet of a shot from the point that beats Nichols, but the goaltenders were still fairly good. I mean, Nichols has to come up big with a right pad save, and then Thompson cutting around Baltusberger to the forehand. And at the other end, Dickinson with the golden opportunity at that point to make it 3-0, but Smith responds, and he responds again on the Ryan Fabry opportunity. So you look at those two chances right there. I mean, that could have been a 4-spot on the board for Guelph in that first period.
Isn't it funny how the game of hockey works? Fabry's goal wasn't as good a scoring chance as that one-timer.
Yeah.
He winds up scoring off a deflected puck instead of the one where had a pretty good shot and a good chance.
But the age-old adage remains, get it to the net.
Short power play wrapping up, and now Leslie's back on the ice, so Guelph is back to full strength. 1-goal lead as we are in the early stages of the second period. Guelph with that lead. They jumped out to that 2-0 advantage, and North Bay is made it 2-1.
Big Ben Thompson, 4th-round pick of the New Jersey Devils in the 2012 draft. He came over from Kitchener for Brandon Robinson, who's a good young player in his own right, back in November. And when you look at Thompson, you know, the 3rd most underrated player as voted by Eastern Conference coaches in the Ontario Hockey League.
Dylan Gluchis, he's got Mitchell right on his back, gets upended. Reichel's there to take the puck. Moves it to Finn. That was read by McLeod, and he chips it to center. Jurjanovic had the first goal of the game. And that's called on the offside. Mitchell cheated it a little bit and was on the wrong side of the blue line.
RJ, we looked at those two chances and talked about a possible 4-goal first period for the Guelph Storm, and it's not out of the question when you look at guys like Kosmachuk, Fabry, McGinn, Reichel, Mitchell, the numbers that they have put up, not just in the regular season, but they've continued that fine play in the playoffs.
Pirog dumps it in over Wood. Auger chases after it. Bertuzzi comes in to help out. Here's a demonstration of how tough it is to take the puck from Auger. It took 2 Battalion to do it, but Jamie Lewis was able to send it ahead to Matthew Santos. Bertuzzi breaks that up. 3 Guelph Storm coming across the blue line. Pirog's shot. That hit a stick. Smith way out to play it. He took a hard bump, lost his mask. Penalty coming up. The concern for the Battalion is their goaltender. He looks to be okay, though.
Well, showing off some of that baseball skill that we talked about in that first period, he decides to come out of this puck and deflect it and get it on the backhand, but that did not alter one bit the path of Bertuzzi going to the net. And you can see Bertuzzi's looking up. He takes a swing at Smith, which actually is what knocks the helmet off of him.
Bertuzzi was waiting for more behind the net there too, covered up.
Yeah, he knew he was going to get it, but that's, you know, he is that guy who every now and then crosses the line, but for the most part, when he plays right at the line, he is a very, very effective player, and the Detroit Red Wings have the nephew of Todd Bertuzzi in their system.
Want to say hello to the North Bay Battalion fans at the North Bay Memorial Gardens. A viewing party going on there. You know, they can't wait for Game 3 to get to their arena. They'd love to see this series even at a game apiece. Power play here for the Battalion as they try to even this game at 2 apiece. Dickinson shorthanded, working against McIver. McIver plays him well. Omley moves it ahead. Goodrow have to hurry. Dickinson still had some speed, forces him to make haste as he gets into the Guelph end. Blugis, bouncing puck, drops it off for Henriksen. Back to Blugis, shoots it at the net, hit a body in front. Low chance from Goodrow. That was a good save by Nichols, and then the Storm sent it down the ice. So many Battalion players have stepped up in this postseason and have put up better playoff numbers than they had in the regular season, or as good. And of course, they played a lot fewer games in the playoffs than they did in the regular season. That's part of a championship team. You need guys to step up when it matters.
And getting some contributions from the back end as well. I mean, look at Miller's the second leading scorer on this team in the playoffs, 16 points now in 17-plus games.
He's out there now with 45 seconds to go in the power play. Thompson sends it to Paul. Praplin was open in front for a moment. Paul couldn't get him the pass. Still has the puck. Now Miller works his way to the middle. Takes the shot. A hard one. Hit a body in front. Praplin retrieves it in the corner. Circles out of the corner. Then loses it to Pius Suter. And he sends it the length of the ice.
Well, that's a real specialty for Pius Suter. Another Swiss-born player who is so effective on the penalty kill. You don't see him a lot in 5-on-5 situations, but he's a very good role player for Scott Walker.
Good rush here for Liberati. Sends it behind the net. Paul will be in a foot race against Zach Wesley. Brendan Miller comes from his point position to make an effort to keep it in. Couldn't do it. And that will about do it for this Guelph penalty kill. Bertuzzi's back on the ice. They're back to full strength. And after giving up power play goal, their first time shorthanded on just one shot, they've killed off the last 2 Battalion efforts with a man advantage. Bertuzzi, fresh out of the penalty box. He'd love to make something happen. Horvat sends it back to Ebert. If he can get that good shot, it is away. This time it's a snapshot. It was right on Smith to save. Praplin trying to bank pass to Thompson. That's onside. There's a blast from Thompson that's stopped by Nichols. Bertuzzi to center. Lofts it into the Battalion zone. That's the McIver ahead to Henriksen. Matt Finn tried to keep it in. Now McKenzie's got some skating room. That evaporates with Kosmachuk stepping in front of him. Finn, a good pass. He had spotted Reichel. Up ahead of the play. Kosmachuk going hard to the front of the net. Reichel didn't hit the net. Brandon Miller got some time in his own zone. Just turned 20 in March. He's from Orangeville, riding a 6-game point streak. Dickinson. Low shot. Smith redirected it to the corner. Maybe knew Reichel was coming on that backdoor side, made sure to deflect it out of Reichel's reach. Connor Jarvis worked hard to try to get around Trojanovic, but the overage defenseman wasn't going to bite on that move.
Well, a really slick play there by Trojanovic. Just uses a stick, poke the puck, make a good first pass out of the zone.
Santos tried to use Baltisberger as a screen. It went off the leg of the defenseman, wide of the net. Smith will stay in his net. Wood comes out, takes a hit from McGinn, but the Battalion safely out of their own end. Jamie Lewis, his shot, that's blocked by Baltisberger. Well, defenseman getting in front of a few shots during this shift. Liberati retreating into his own end. Bolts it ahead. That'll enter the Storm zone. Harper's bank pass out of the reach of all his teammates. This won't be icing. Harper being pressured by Praplin. Praplin comes up with a puck. Baltusberger in there right away to help out. Now the Guelph Storm able to get it to the line. Still not out. McLeod. An effort to pass it in front didn't work. Auger. He can't go wide on McIver, and McIver another strong defensive play for the Battalion, but North Bay fans have seen that a lot this year.
That's all he's done his whole career. I mean, he is that steady a player coming out of the Whitby Wildcats program, once coached by OHL Commissioner David Brent.
Bertuzzi had that in his skates, got to it just in time. It's a 3-on-2. Ebert's joined the rush. Pirog the shot. That's blocked by Blugis. Blugis and McIver each played close to the 30 minutes in game 1. And with the TV timeouts in this contest, they might get more than that tonight.
A very underrated pairing. I mean, Blugis is a second-round pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning, so he's no slouch.
Auger lost his helmet. He couldn't touch the puck. That gave a free pass for the Battalion out of their end. Shot from a sharp angle. That was off the side of the net. McLeod finishes his check behind the net. Comes loose to Paul. Paul finds the open man. That's Thompson. Ebert blocked it. Liberati a chance. His shot. That's blocked in front too. Pirog, he's been out there a while. All he can do is send it into the Battalion zone and head off.
Well, that's what Scott Walker was talking about. His team playing a full 60 minutes the Storm way all day. I mean, block shots, 2 of them in a row by Nick Ebert.
Barkley Goodrow got the pass. Didn't waste any time with the shot. Missed the net. Miller, front of his own goal. It was defense partner Wood. Thompson was open on the right wing side. Tried to go up the middle. Hit the stick of Fabric. Miller's following up. Reichel's knocked down. Thompson has it. 3-on-2 here. Goodrow couldn't get the pass because Finn poked it away. Finn joining the rush. This is a 4-on-2. Reichel. Open man is Mitchell. That's blocked by Miller. He might have got that up in the face. And he is down. Has lost his stick trying to get to his feet. Wood comes in over the Guelph line. His defense partner just making it to the Battalion bench now, and that is called selling out in the postseason, doing whatever you can to keep the puck out of your net.
Sensational play is getting looked at on the bench now, and right in that jaw collarbone area. I'm not sure which one it got, but it's holding the collarbone right now.
Bertina's shot, there's a block. Both teams getting in front of everything the other team's throwing at them. Henriksen, will he get a shot on goal? He does, a dangerous one. A tough save for Justin Nichols, and he's able to hang on. Zach Mitchell had a great chance to score. Brendan Miller, a selfless block. Rogers Cable customers in Guelph. That series will be airing on Rogers TV Cable 20. And OHL fans throughout Ontario can also watch the series on Rogers TV Sports Plus, on Rogers Digital 368, and in HD on 369.
RJ, we talked to Scott Walker at length before this game, and he says he lives and dies with the wins more as a coach than he did as a player, because as a player you have some sort of element of control. As a coach, your control ends after your preparation. You can't be the guy to go out there and execute. So, you know, his team continues to win games, and every time we talk to him, oh boy, we're not playing well right now. It's unbelievable.
Terrific chance for Lewis, and he couldn't tuck it in past Nichols. Battalion coming close. McIver, he's got some time to shoot, and when he finally does, it's off the stick of Pirog and goes over the glass out of play.
Well, Justin Nichols continues to impress here. I mean, his performance last night, the 5-0 win in the clincher against Erie, and although it's a Guelph win off the draw, it's a puck that goes to the net thanks to the North Bay Battalion, and it's Lewis with a golden opportunity. But look at Nichols, and John Shannon talked about it off the top of the broadcast. Smaller guys who are more athletic, a throwback in goaltending. That's what we're seeing here tonight.
Lewis, he's not very big, but he's been effective. Created a lot of opportunities. Here's another one. Santos with a shot. It was deflected. Still loose. Santos pokes it in. Battalion have tied it.
He deserves it. Santos worked hard on this shift here. to pick up the goal, and he would not be denied. He just continued to go to the net. A free agent signing by the North Bay Battalion coming out of the Vaughan Kings program. Lewis does a great job behind the net, protecting the puck, gets it to Santos. See, what he does here, RJ, is he follows the shot. He takes the original shot, he assesses the situation, does Santos, and then he follows it up, and he simply wins this puck battle and wins this race, beating Pirog to the puck and backhanding it in and past Justin Nichols. And what was supposed to be a blowout series continues to be close.
Guelph got that 2-0 lead on home ice. Sleeman Center, they haven't lost to an Eastern Conference team on home ice all season long. But look at the Battalion. As the season went on, they got stronger. As the game goes on, they get stronger, and they've tied it.
Well, that's just it. The Battalion really made its hay in yesterday's game in the second period. I mean, they were outshot, gave up 16 shots in that first period, and only allowed 14 the rest of the way. So, again, we continue to talk about this being a David and Goliath situation, the underdog, the team from the East against the powerhouse Western Conference, but by no means has it played out that way to this point.
Yeah, that storyline might be thrown out the window after the way the first game and a half has gone in this series. Comes in front of the net. Wood shielded the puck away from Reichel. Fabry trying to use his speed to beat Amadio to it. Mitchell, he's checked. Amadio can't poke it past Reichel. Amadio gets it back. Puck finding him on this shift. McLeod had it bounce over his stick. Amadio able to keep it in again. Got it to the front of the net, but nobody there for the Battalion. Reichel ahead to Fabry, just out of his reach. Good to see Miller back on the ice after that block up in the neck face area. Saved a goal by it.
Yeah, I believe so.
And his pass is an errant one. A face-off coming up in the Friday night hockey. The Rogers OHL Championship. It will be next week. Game 5 if necessary. North Bay needs to win one game to guarantee this Game 5. It'll be 7 o'clock Eastern on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific. And it all leads to the 2014 MasterCard Memorial Cup. That will be in London, May 16th to the 25th. Not far away now that we're into May. And that again on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific. It's been a good season since Christmas for North Bay, Sam.
Yeah, you have to think that this is a team that couldn't get into the Gardens the first 8-9 games of the season because it was still undergoing renovations. And, you know, getting settled down at home, getting Blue just back in the lineup, making a couple of trades, everyone getting used to their new billets, all that sort of stuff. Well, after Christmas, they've been a great hockey club.
Thompson, he's had a couple of chances. Matt Finn has played well defensively for Guelph. Thwarted that opportunity. Finn's up there on this rush, too. Now he backs off. Good roll. Took a hit from Dickinson, chopped it ahead. Trojanovic off the glass. Kosmachuk knocks it down. Without a high stick, play continues. Kosmachuk couldn't get a shot, but still maintains possession. Kosmachuk had 101 points in the regular season for Guelph. Led them in scoring. Barkley Goodrow. He led North Bay in scoring. Shot with a screen. That was stopped by Nichols. He makes some tough saves look very easy. Kosmachuk's pass. That found McGinn through a crowd. He just couldn't get a shot. Ryan Horvat, bouncing puck. Able to get it to Pirog. Trying to cut to the net. The reach of Wood. Poked it off Pirog's stick. Bertuzzi following up. He's dealing with McKenzie. Gets knocked down. That's all good. Bertuzzi gets back up, maintains possession. Put a low shot on Jake Smith. He kicked it aside. Two number 12s collide in the corner. Horvat and McKenzie. Henriksen and Bertuzzi. They're battling for the puck. Bertuzzi comes up with it. Tried to make a move around McKenzie. Another chance. There's another block. Miller is a target right now. But he is saving his Battalion. And he's getting it in some tough spots, too, right near the face and then off the hand.
Don't think it will go unnoticed. Jake Smith realizes just how good Miller's been for him back there. Stopped one goal for sure and another good block.
Reichel lets one fly. Tried to go up high, short side, and Smith got enough of it to deflect it out of play.
And the fans here at the Sleeman Center appreciating the effort of Kirby Reichel. But look at Miller here. I mean, in short quarters, he's in the most vulnerable position. Full clapper there from Bertuzzi, takes it off the hand. And then Smith has to come up huge. Kirby Reichel, one of the best shots in the Ontario Hockey League, but Smith denies him with the blocker side.
Santos is out there for the Battalion. This line along with Lewis and Jarvis, they've been effective in this game too. Lewis with a tricky shot that Nichols handled and hangs on.
Well, it's funny because they refer to him in North Bay as the Rudy line. A bunch of smaller guys, underachievers, just continue to go, go, go. And you know, he talked about Lewis's clincher in the Oshawa series. Santos gets the game tire here. And it's important to have that secondary scoring depth when you get into a league championship.
Jarvis had 4 goals during the regular season. He's got 2 in this postseason. Another one of those players that's elevated his game when it matters the most. Face-off win by Lewis. Blugis, he's got a good shot, missed the net. Mitchell moves it out to center. McIver backtracking. Bank pass, that won't be icing. That'll force Harper back to get it. Harper wastes no time behind his net. The Ottawa draft pick got it to center. He won't continue on the rush. He'll let Reichel get it in the corner. Back to the line, Mitchell. Now Baltisberger. He winds and fires. Diving to get out of the way was Fabric. Sometimes you never know with those defenseman shots. Fabric can't stick handle around Blugis. Steals it from Lewis. Mitchell's there to help out. Mitchell tried to cut to the front of the net. The puck didn't come with him. Harper chops it back in. Lewis gets it out this time, and that will force Harper back into his own zone.
Fabri's got a lightning quick stick, and he doesn't just use it offensively. You can see him defensively, stick checking guys, stick lifts. I mean, what a skill set. This guy's got a bright future.
McIver, he pins Dickinson up against the boards. Kuzmachek's in there trying to dig it loose. Mario comes up with it. McLeod, one pass came back to him. McLeod might get a shot here. That one's off a stick, goes up high. Stays along the dasherboard till it got to center for Janovic. Now Kuzmachek, McGinn will head to the front of the net. McGinn takes the pass. Backhand was up high. Dickinson knocks it down. Sends it in for Kuzmachek. Well, there's Miller again, getting another rough ride. Kuzmachek trying to get the hands up in Miller's face.
Not a puck, it's a stick. It's not a stick, it's a shoulder.
Pirog chopped at one. That was off the stick of Miller and went up over the net. Pirog drops it off for Bertuzzi. He's watched by Miller, forces him all the way to the line, then lofts it right in on Smith. Smith saw it all the way, came over and made the save. And stay in Montreal for anything less than a cup. Find out in this issue of Sportsnet Magazine at sportsnet.ca/magazine. And what a game one for them in the second round against the Boston Bruins. PK Subban, the overtime winner. Good start for the Canadians.
Yeah, by all accounts, an excellent game between those two rivals. Took a long time to get that one figured out.
Just over 5 minutes to go here in the second period. And it's a stalemate right now, tied at 2. Matt Finn, the safe play, lofts it up over everybody, gets it into the Battalion end. Horvat chips it to the corner. McIver ahead to Barclay Goodrow, the captain of the Battalion. Bank pass. That works to Thompson. Passes off a skate, and that will send McIver back. Blugis calmly moves it outside the North Bay end. Barclay Goodrow tried to take a shot. That was off the stick of Trojanovic. He was alone on that rush, and that shot goes out of play.
Well, Goodrow here in his final season with the North Bay Battalion, and you know, guys like him really appreciated the move. The playing in Brampton for so long, a perennial playoff team. Crowds just never really supported the cause there. And Scott Abbott, the owner, was consistent with Stan Butler, the head coach and general manager. That never changed. They continued to go to the playoffs, never got any support. Now they go up to Brampton. I mean, this guy's he's a hero up there. And 8 or 9 straight sellouts at the Memorial Gardens. They're probably sold out there tonight, and they're just able to watch it on the big screen. So it's been a massive success in the relocation of the franchise.
For Goodrow, the way he's been rolling, you have to call it a mini slump. 2 games without a point, now almost 3 games without a point. But team right in the mix. 1 point in this game might be enough to win it. McKenzie gets knocked down behind the Guelph goal. Fabry moves it ahead to Reichel. Puck's bouncing. He gets it to settle. Mitchell's there too. Took a shot. It was off Reichel. Didn't get through to Smith. Woods some time in the corner. Then he turned it over to Fabry. Back to Mitchell. Back to Fabry. Quick shot, scores! What a play! Guelph moving the puck around. Fabry puts the Storm ahead again.
Puck management is oh so key, and there's an opportunity to get this puck out of the zone. Wood takes a look up, he delays, and his delay gave Robbie Fabry an extra second to get over there. So Fabry then makes the pass down low. He goes towards the front of the net, and he tucks it in short side. I mean, what is there not to like about this guy? You look at the elements of this play. First of all, he picks it off. Second of all, he has the presence of mind to go down low. Then he goes to the front of the net, and then a short side shot. I mean, that's everything you want to see in one play right there from the draft-eligible Robbie Fabry.
You combine the regular season and playoffs, and he has 56 goals. It's a pretty good season, and still lots of hockey to go. And Guelph, once again, takes the lead. McGinn's shot. That's blocked by Blugis. Another chance for McGinn. Couldn't get that one through either. Santos takes his time, waiting for reinforcements. Troops sent back into their own zone. Blugis has McGinn right on him. There's a turnover to Kosmachuk. His shot blocked by McIver. Zach Wesley. He turned 20 in January. Moves it ahead to Kosmachuk. McIver, now Kosmachuk. Open man is Amadio, gets it ahead to McLeod. Amadio heads to the front of the net. McLeod goes cross ice. Pirog was hustling to break that up and made a good defensive play.
A good backtracking. I know Scott Walker will be happy with some of what he's seen from his players in that regard tonight.
Amadio, he's been tough to take the puck from in this game.
I think, RJ, this is a key line for North Bay. I mean, if they're going to find ways to get secondary scoring, it's going to have to be this line. Praplin, you talked about great regular season. McLeod, older player. Amadio, draft-eligible guy. I mean, this line has to step up and be counted for North Bay if they want to continue to have success in this series. But let's go back to Robbie Fabry right here. Great job picking up the pass. Look at that bounce pass down low, and he knows that he's going to go to the net because he's going to get it back from his line mate, Mitchell. I mean, so much to like in just 10 seconds. And all the National Hockey League guys, this guy's a pain in the rear end because it's the size. And so, wow, the National Hockey League guys don't want to back away from the size, but there's nothing not to like about this guy.
Size is becoming less and less of a factor. He's listed at 5'10". It's not like it was about 15 or 20 years ago where a guy like Fabry, despite his skill, probably would be pushed back to a second or third round.
You don't see him back down physically. He doesn't really initiate all that a lot, but he's enough to where he needs to take a hit. That's not an issue. Where he needs to make a hit, not an issue. And the offensive side, I mean, forget it.
Mitchell, a nice skilled play there as well, the between the legs pass.
You know, Mitchell's the guy who went to a couple NHL camps, finally signed by the Minnesota Wild. He's having a brilliant playoff here for the Guelph Storm.
Mitchell, Fabry, Reichel, they're out there right now. They've given the Battalion some headaches in this one. North Bay wins the faceoff. Puck was deflected just wide. Thompson spins and fires, and Nichols has been like a sponge, just absorbing those pucks, not allowing rebounds.
Well, that's the thing, RJ. I mean, when you're a smaller guy, you have to shore up those other areas of your game. Your athleticism is one, but rebound control is another big thing. And 32 of 34 shots in game one, stopped by Nichols, and he continues to be a top player. I mean, Scott Walker had a one-word answer when asked about his goalie last night. Said he was unbelievable, and he continues to be that way, and he continues night in and night out to prove people wrong about his ability to lead a team to a championship.
2:10 to go in this second period. Goodrow, Paul, Thompson remain out there, trying to find the equalizer for North Bay. Dickinson, McGinn, Kosmachuk. That's who Scott Walker has on for the Storm. McGinn takes it to the corner. Goodrow's back behind his net. Kosmachuk was flying in there, took it away. Blue Jays will have to hurry. Dickinson, he can fly too. Moved ahead to Thompson. Goodrow was at center. Kosmachuk didn't let the pass get through to him. Paul enters the Guelph end. Takes a high shot on Nichols. Got just enough of the glove. Pass comes back to the line, but the North Bay defense were on a change. Henriksen. His shot was too high. Thompson's still out there for North Bay. He'll head to the front of the net. Now he decides better get a line change in. Good shot. That was through a screen. McKenzie lifting his leg at the last moment, but did not fool Justin Nichols.
Well, there's Nichols, who was acquired in the trade, and we talked about Guelph. I mean, the situation presented itself at the start of the year that Garrett Sparks, who's playing for the Toronto Marlies, could have been here in his overage season. With the brilliant year he had last year, that wasn't going to be an issue, but they got an indication early on that the Toronto Marlies wanted to keep him, and so they had to go out and get a netminder. Went to Sault Ste. Marie, acquired Nichols, and after the trade deadline, he's been just brilliant.
Nichols stays in his net. Fratina has it along the boards. Line mate McKenzie was knocked down. Henriksen, he was down behind the net. Almost got to that loose puck in front, but it's cleared out by Mitchell. Didn't hit any Battalion players. That's delay a game, and North Bay's going to the power play.
Yeah, no arguments, no fight back whatsoever from Mitchell or the Guelph Storm on the play. It was simply one of those pucks on end, and Mitchell doing his best to clear it out, and as he did so, he caught it on the upswing with the puck on end, and just like that, it's way out.
That's a no-doubter. So just under a minute to go in the second. Battalion on the power play. Lucas hands on the shot, then takes it. Saved by Nichols. It was loose in front for a moment. Guelph got to it. Set it 200 feet. Battalion would love to tie this game before the end of the second. McIver cautiously to center. Mike Amadio takes a look at the net. He'll wrap it around. Alex Henriksen. He's an import from Sweden. Pass off the stick of Bertuzzi. Amadio stole it. McIver comes into the top of the circle. He whistled one up high. Again, Nichols just getting enough of it. Blue Jays to the middle. Looking for a lane to shoot. There wasn't one. McIver, a couple of steps in. There's a save by Nichols. There's a rebound this time. Guelph gets to it again. Can't get it out. Blue Jays got there just in time. Not much time to go in the period. Spin, fire. Nichols the save. Couple of whacks at it. Nichols has it. And there is just 1.6 seconds to go in the period. A late surge by the Battalion may almost equal the game.
Well, Nichols strong again, and you talk about having the lower part of the net covered up. That's what Nichols is able to do. A couple of veteran plays on the back end. McIver with simple couple of shots through, and then it goes back to Blue Jays with a good keep in, and he too is able to get it towards the front of the net. But once again, Nichols there to make the save.
Goodrow, the left shot, will take this face-off. Battalion overloading the front of the net. And it's one to the corner by Horvat. Goodrow got a shot from there, too, that Nichols had to be sharp, had to be alert, caught it, and the horn goes. And with 20 minutes to go, the Storm have a slim one-goal lead. Here's Jeff, John, and Damian in the studio.
RJ, thanks very much. And you can almost feel it. This is sort of Stan Butler, North Bay Battalion hockey, just sort of hanging around, lulling the opposition to maybe a false sense of security. 3-2 Guelph Storm after 2 periods of play. John Shannon and Damian Cox break down the period in moments. Stay tuned.
Friday Night Hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Travelodge, where hockey stays. A proud partner of the CHL. By MasterCard. For everything you need to compete this season, there's MasterCard. And by Power Rocks. Get charged up. This intermission brought to you by BMO, the official banks. Saturday on Sportsnet.
Game 1's overtime loss was just the 3rd time North Bay had a lead in a playoff game and had lost. Guelph has blown 2 leads and lost in this postseason. Battalion have put themselves in a position, Sam, where they could have a big 3rd and come out with a victory.
Yeah, and they'll get a chance here with the extra man to start the period. And you look at Miller and how good he's been. Blocked shot. He's sold himself out on a couple of occasions, but then North Bay able to get on the board. Great work by Lewis behind the net, and then Santos follows his own shot and ends up beating Pirog to the net with the backhand and in. Robbie Fabry, excellent job picking off that pass from Wood. A give and go with Mitchell short side. 2nd goal of the game, and that Fabry goal is the difference headed into the 3rd.
Second period was similar to game 1, where Guelph had a strong first, and then North Bay came out in the second and started to overpower. They outshot Guelph in the second period 14-6. And as Sam mentioned, power play here to start the 3rd period for 1 minute and 2 seconds. It will be Henriksen, Goodrow, Amadio up front, and McIver and Bluchis on the blue line. McIver has the puck now. Moves it ahead to Henriksen. His pass hit a stick. Players looking for it. It went up in the air, finally lands, and Trojanovic, he'll slide it down behind the North Bay net.
It's funny, you think that the clean ice would help you out with the power play that's been severed by the period intermission, but oftentimes it just doesn't. It takes a little while for teams to get into their groove in the period.
Quick shot from McIver, no problem for Nichols. North Bay trying to set things up. Bluchis over to Henriksen. He's able to step right in, blocked by Trojanovic. Cleared to the line, but not out. Amadio back to McIver. Takes a look at the net. The shot, that's off a leg and wide. Amadio has it in the corner. Tight quarters with Henriksen. He elects to go back to Bluchis. Not much on that shot. His stick broke in half. That allows Guelph a chance to clear. Lucky break for the Storm. This is the 4th power play of the game for the Battalion. Guelph has had 1 man advantage. That came in the 1st period. Reichel almost poked that right on. Guelph's back to full strength now.
That's all fatigue. I mean, you look at Bluchis, who was out there for the power play for the better part of the start of the period, and so it gets back into a defensive zone position and tries to outrun Kirby Reichel and simply can't do it. And it was almost knocked in past Smith, but you have to give Smith a lot of credit for continuing to follow the play. And then Mitchell's shot from the corner created an issue.
Net was bumped off. That was the reason for the whistle. Miller can't get it out. Mitchell misses the net with his shot. Kraplin, Baltusberger, they've been out there a lot in this game against each other. Baltusberger kept it in for Guelph. Ben Thompson. Spotted defenseman Kyle Wood jumping into the play. He just sends it down deep. Harper moves it ahead to Fabry. 2 goals in the game for Robbie Fabry. He'll dump and then chase it into the corner. Bumps with Wood. Following up on the play to come up with a puck is Miller. Thompson's cross-ice pass. A nice retrieval by Paul. Kraplin back in front to Paul. He was tied up by Pirog. Reichel the other way. Up ahead to Horvat. Reichel's following him. Now he'll head to the net. Sharp angle shot by Horvat. That hit the outside of the post and sat there for Smith. And he elects to stop play.
You look at this line with Ryan Horvat. Normally out there with him is big Justin Auger, but lines have been switched up here by Scott Walker. You see Reichel out there with Horvat this time around, and now they've gone back to Pirog and Bertuzzi.
Little deflection by Bertuzzi. Matthew Santos. Head to Jarvis. Couldn't stick handle around Ebert. Liberati to his defense partner, Riley Bruce, the 16-year-old defenseman. Santos. Lewis takes the shot, Nichols was down, made the save. Puck poked past Liberati. Bertuzzi chasing after it, but Santos was aware his defenseman was caught and came back to help out. Tyler Bertuzzi. Back to Ebert. Hard pass off the skate of Horvat. He wanted a change. Didn't get the puck in deep enough. He'll still go for that change as the Battalion come into the Guelph end. Bertuzzi looking for the fresh legs. Those belong to Dickinson. Kosmachuk's following up. The puck's bouncing around. Bratina is able to corral it and move it ahead to Henriksen. Alex Henriksen took a hit, took the shot. Nichols made the save and redirected it out of play.
Well, North Bay continues to pile up the shots, and they did outshoot Guelph in game number 1. Lewis with a golden opportunity, shows great patience here on the drag, goes to the backhand and did the smart thing by getting the puck up in the air. But Nichols, he's kind of flipping and flopping all over the place, is able to make that stop, and you can see the "have a purpose" written on his mask. That goes back to former London Knight draft pick Ian Jenkins, who left us way too soon.
And 35 on his mask as well is Ian Jenkins' number. Kosmachuk to Dickinson. That shot didn't miss by much. Of course, Nichols wears number 30 now. Paul ahead to Goodrow. Pass was behind him for Janovic. He circles away from Goodrow. Kosmachuk and Paul. Paul gives Kosmachuk the rough ride. Can't get the clearing attempt past him, and this will dribble right to Smith. Those can be treacherous. Puck bouncing around in the crease area. Smith was alert and good to make that save.
And he didn't panic whatsoever. A little tap on the shin pads to Miller, who will head off for the line change. And those ones are tough. You want your defenseman to be there to help you out, but every now and then you just want to say, hey, just pull your stick back, just leave it alone, I'll take care of it. And it starts bouncing around, and Smith pounced on it like a cat.
Storm lead 3-2. They had a 2-0 lead. Battalion battled back here in game 2 of the OHL Championship Series to tie it at 2. And then a goal from Robbie Fabry, his second of the game, has Guelph ahead by 1. Matt McLeod, he's pinned up against the boards by Baltusberger. Still got it loose to Praplin, but Bertuzzi moved it out to center. Ben Harper from Niagara on the leg. Praplin. He had Amadio over there. Tried a sharp angle shot, and that has Baltusberger limping. Caught him on the inside of the ankle. Has to stay out there. McLeod by himself right now on this rush against 3 Storm players. Now some reinforcements coming. Fabry making haste through center. Reichel moved it in front. Amadio, he read that play the whole way. Didn't let the pass through to Fabry. Santos, he can't get it deep. Wesley sends it right back out of harm's way. Guelph upset. They thought North Bay might have had too many men on the ice. No call. Mitchell, he's by himself. Whistled one up high, and that winds up going out of play.
Well, you never know who you might find in attendance here at the Sleeman Center, and none better than that guy. Paul Henderson taking in this one in the Guelph Storm box, and history making a little wave for the television audience. Nice to see Paul in attendance for this game.
He knows a little something about scoring big goals.
Yeah.
Battalion need one. Fabry has one. Right now standing up to be the winner. Guelph can hang on to this uncomfortable 1-goal lead. Oh, a stick comes up. Miller got it up on Brock McGinn. The only question is it going to be 2 or 4? Looks like McGinn's okay. Just the second power play of the game coming up for Guelph.
You see McGinn go into the corner here. Miller's there with him. Miller turns, and as he does so, he does get the stick right up into the grill. Now, Good thing there wasn't good contact there, or else that would have been a serious issue for McGinn. But no question, that's a penalty on Miller.
Guelph's power play clicking at 27.1%, so almost 30% during the regular season. 0 for 5 in this series. North Bay's done a good job keeping this power play with highly offensive players off the board. Look out for Barclay Goodrow. He had 7 shorthanded goals. That led everybody in the OHL during the regular season. He sensed an opportunity there, found another gear. Brock McGinn working against McIver. McIver calmly plays him and then gets an angle on him and finishes his check. Kosmachuk can't make the pass to Finn. Goodrow, such a good penalty killer. Slows down, takes his time, and then softly sends it into the Guelph end. Zach Leslie. Mitchell, his pass too far ahead for Fabry. He's able to track it down. Moves it to Reichel, wraps it around to Leslie. Reichel in the corner, open man Ebert. Doesn't shoot, he had Fabry backdoor. Reichel walks in front, that's stopped by Smith. Fabry sends it back to Leslie. One time from Ebert, that hits a stick and goes wide. Now the Guelph power play starting to motor. Paul's lost a stick. Ebert doesn't shoot, sends it down low to Fabry. He'll put it behind the net. Mitchell gets it, touches it to Reichel, return feed to Mitchell. Right back to Reichel. Ebert works his way to the middle, can't get a shot. Reichel goes cross ice, that hit Paul, didn't have a stick, couldn't get possession. Fabry in front, Mitchell can't redirect. Reichel. Back to Ebert. Fabry. And now Leslie. There's a shot. It's off a leg, bouncing around, and it's sent down the ice by Kyle Wood.
2 pretty effective plays for Nick Paul without the stick. A block shot and a little kick save.
Terrific penalty killing by the Battalion. They bent, didn't break. Not out of trouble yet. Final few seconds of the power play. Ebert's shot. That's blocked by Lewis. Fabry steps in. That's blocked too. Guelph still has it. Battalion back to full strength, but the penalty killers are hemmed in right now. Back in front of the net. Reichel at the back door, couldn't get to the puck. He spins. Saw Fabry behind the net. That got away from him. Fabry in the corner. Moves it back to Mitchell. Comes to the line. That's sent in for Fabry. This line of Reichel, Fabry, and Mitchell, they've been out there a long time. And the puck is cleared into the North Bay bench. The Battalion kill off the power play for Guelph despite some storm. Ryobi 1+, 18-volt system, 1 battery, 50 tools. An easy choice tonight, Sam.
No question. Brendan Miller, defenseman for the North Bay Battalion, blocks a shot off his clavicle. He would make his way to the bench, and then Gear takes one off the hand. Gives it a shake, but says, I'm just going to get right back at it. Takes a punch in the face from Kosmachuk, and no worse for the wear. Brendan Miller, you're our hardest worker tonight. And he loves it.
Been a big contributor offensively for the Battalion, too. He might play a factor in this one down the stretch. Led the defenseman in scoring on the Battalion during the regular season and in the postseason. Came in here second on the team in playoff scoring. Harper, the Ottawa pick. He's being pressured, but hung in there, got it ahead to Bertuzzi. Miller's out there now, has it behind his net. Saw Pierrot coming, wasted no time behind his own goal. Makes a good pass ahead to Praplin. Miller following up, sends it to the corner. Ryan Horvat. Works up ahead, Bertuzzi's there, but stride for stride with him was Liberati. Wasn't going to let Bertuzzi get open. Mike Amadio lost the handle as he got to the blue line. Praplin brings it in offside.
Amadio's rated for the upcoming National Hockey League draft. 68th on National Hockey League Central Scouting. Scored the first goal in North Bay Battalion history back on September 20th in a 5-2 loss at Kingston. And remember, this North Bay team had to start with 8 or 9 straight on the road because the Memorial Gardens was getting renovated.
Had some injuries, tough start, and we showed the record since December how good North Bay has been.
Especially at home, they've been just dynamite at the Garden.
Reichel, Fabry, Mitchell out there again against this Lewis, Jarvis, Santos line. Both these lines have been good for their respective teams in this contest. Jarvis gets it ahead to Lewis. Santos on the right wing side. Puck bounced on him, still made the return feed to Lewis. Ebert trying to stay right on the number 20 on Lewis's back. Does a good job of it. Fabry gets it to the line. That's not out. Woods' low shot can't get that through to the net. Reichel. He's pressured by Miller. Couldn't get past him. Janovic had to hurry. Lewis was closing on him quickly. Approaching the midway point of the third. Still a one-goal lead for Guelph. The #1 team in the OHL. The only team to be in the CHL rankings every week during the season.
Yeah, that's something else. That's just a model of consistency. And you can see Thompson complaining about the offside call. He thought he had waited long enough before he touched the puck. His teammate didn't get out in time, and so it's whistled dead.
Battalion win another face-off. Send it into the Guelph end. Matt Finn off the glass, bouncing around near the line. Blue just doing his best to keep it in. Did a good job. For Janovic. Over to Finn. Storm captain. Gets it out to center. Ben Thompson. He'll take a hit from Janovic. Blugis again working hard to make sure the puck stays in the Guelph end. Thompson threw it in front of the net. Nobody there for the Battalion. Kosmachuk. Good pass ahead to McGinn. Can't stick handle through that tough defensive twosome of Blugis and McIver. Dickinson sends it to Janovic. He knew where he was going with the pass. It was to McGinn. Thompson waits for it along the boards. New Jersey draft pick. Just lofts it ahead. Wesley to Horvat. He's got some skating room. Battalion on a change. Horvat to the corner. Gets hit by Blugis. Still made the pass to Piron. Open man's Ebert. He was waving for it. No shot. That was deflected. Went off the side of the net. That had the crowd at the Sleeman Center oohing and eyeing. Bertina inside his own zone. Bertuzzi forced him to make a play back to Blugis. Bouncing puck at center. Henriksen sends it in. He'll chase after it. Leslie will have to hurry. Took the hit. Pucks out of the Guelph end again.
Henriksen's been all over. A member of the Swedish national team on a couple of occasions. He's shown a nice physical edge to his game here tonight.
He's another guy who's really stepped his game up come the postseason, and now the crowd at the Sleeman Center thought once again that North Bay had too many men on the ice. Officials disagree.
Both times right in front of the North Bay bench.
Mitchell gets to the line. Same thing happened to Guelph earlier in the game, and the players were very alert not to touch the puck just in case too many men on the ice was called. Still 5 on
playoffs. 6-game win streak to end the regular season. Then fell down 3-1 to Niagara after winning game 1 before coming back to win that series in 7. Beat the Barrie Colts 4-2 and then swept the Oshawa Generals. Plymouth really gave Scott Walker's team a good physical challenge, and then London in 5 games, and Erie, back-to-back 100-point teams dismissed by the Guelph Storm to reach this OHL championship.
So we should be pretty safe for Friday night hockey next week at Game 5 back here at the Sleeman Center.
5-5-5-5.
Under 8 minutes to go. Reichel's offside, has to regroup. That gave the Battalion time to come the other way. Lewis takes a long shot, and Nichols came out to the top of his crease. Caught it and hangs on.
He's been really effective in this game, has Lewis. You know, picking up an assist on the second North Bay goal, and every time he's out there seems to be something happening. He's buzzing around. He's got this line with Santos and Jarvis working quite well.
Won the face-off, but split the defense with it. Marcus McIver. Lewis at center. Watched closely by Mitchell. He'll try to circle the other way. Open man with Santos. No Baltusberger. Can't get it out. It's stolen by Lewis. Again, he's making stuff happen. Lewis with a shot. That goes wide of the net. Blugis, he's been holding that line strong and steady for the Battalion. Backhanded one in, and that was a tricky one for Nichols. Kind of floated in on it. Fabry, he was standing still. Moved it cross ice. Mitchell couldn't come up with it. Miller does. Ben Thompson. Trojanovic in front of his own net. Uh-oh. That didn't hit anyone. Trojanovic, nowhere to hide there. It's going to be delay of game against Guelph, and now with 6:55 to go, North Bay gets a power play.
Well, it's just a simple spin to win, and again, the puck just edges up ever so slightly, and when it does, Trojanovic tries to finish off the shot, and he finishes it all right. That's a field goal. Up and over the bars and out of play.
Crucial time of the game. Guelph with a 1-goal lead. Face-off win by Goodrow. Back to Blugis. Moves it over to McIver. Puts it near the front of the net. Didn't hit the net. Amadio back to Blugis. These defensemen, Blugis and McIver, they don't worry about that big slap shot. They know there's traffic in front and try to get the puck to the front of the net as quick as they can. It's worked. 2 power play goals in this series. Amadio to Goodrow. Back to McIver. Blugis waits for everybody to get into position. Some traffic to form in front of the net. Goodrow's there now. Blugis takes the shot. Nichols stopped it. Guelph can't clear. McIver to Blugis. That Finn intercepted in front of his own net. And he will send this down the ice on a 5 or 6 hopper to Jake Smith.
Guelph still dangerous shorthanded. I mean, 12 shorthanded goals in the regular season, another 7 here in the postseason. So you have to be wary of that when you have guys like Mitchell, Fabry, Pius Suter.
Well, you're calling it, Sam. A great shorthanded chance by Bertuzzi. And that was a tough save for Smith. Into the final minute of this power play. Praplin goes to the line. Low shot from Miller. That didn't get through to the net. 40 seconds to go in the man advantage. Brendan Miller can't shoot. Nick Paul does. Scores! Power play goal. North Bay ties it with 5:28 to go.
Unbelievable turn of events here. Just when you think this puck's about to exit the zone, it's a good job by Paul to keep it in. And now it's rung back to the point by Thompson, who sets himself up in front of the net. Creates the screen for Paul, who's got great precision on the shot. Excellent play by Miller. He draws the defender. That opens up the lane for Paul to take it to the net. And a picture-perfect shot. Tie game and a Brampton power play that operated at 15.7% efficiency. Last in the league in the regular season, has scored once again.
And even coming into this series, it was even worse than it was in the regular season. It was at 15.1%. 3 power play goals in the series, 2 in this game. We are tied, and it is down to crunch time again. Jarvis with momentum. The Battalion are feeling it now. Guelph had a 2-0 lead in this game. Santos circles off the boards. Can't move it back to Miller. Fabry circles back into his own end. That opened up Mitchell, but he's standing still, waiting for somebody to come open for the Storm. Ebert takes a swipe at it. Bratina moves it ahead, but now it's Leslie who has it. Wraps it around. That came outside the line, so now North Bay has to regroup. Leslie got it out before they could. McIver being pressured by Horvat. Blugis getting in an open position to help out his defense partner. Bertuzzi cuts to the middle. His shot, he had his stick hit as he was shooting, and it came to Smith, who made the save. And he hangs on. What a goal by Nick. This is Friday Night Hockey. How about some Saturday baseball? Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern Time. That's 3:30 Pacific on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific.
5-3 lead in the Buccos tonight through 6.
What a finish here at the Sleeman Center in store for us in Guelph. Guelph Storm had a lead until Nick Paul on the power play just moments ago tied it up for North Bay. Finn shot, that doesn't get through. Battalion have been getting in front of a lot of the Guelph Storm offerings. And North Bay's offside on this rush.
Well, this is a series, and we talked about it right off the top, that no one gave North Bay a chance to compete in because they were so far behind in points in the regular season. The power play wasn't particularly good. They were 7th in comparison to the top team in the Ontario Hockey League. And we got a pretty good indication, RJ, when you and I were here to watch Game 1 last night, that this has great potential to be a long series. And I don't think now you can call Guelph a clear-cut favorite after what we've seen through what is close to 2 games.
Definitely not. North Bay have been right there, toe-to-toe, if not forcing Guelph to up their game to compete with the Battalion. Very even series so far. Game 1 went to overtime. Jason Dickinson, just under a minute, got that OT winner. This is essentially overtime now. 3.5 minutes to go. A goal in regulation time might be enough to win it. Harper, make sure Mario couldn't get into the Guelph end. Baltisberger, his pass picked up. Praplin hurries after it. Trying to go wide on Harper. In the corner, Harper got in front of him. Kirby Reichel. First round pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Sends it down to the Battalion end. Horvat creates a loose puck. Moved it to the far corner. Pierron can't come up with it. In to help out was Horvat. Matthew Santos, he has a goal in this game, his first of the playoffs. Wesley doesn't let him get to the net. Lewis, all tied up by Bertuzzi. Couldn't make anything happen. And Bertuzzi's a little banged up after that altercation.
2 tentative-looking teams right now, RJ. Both teams look like they're afraid to make a mistake as opposed to playing to try and win the game.
Lewis to Jarvis, cuts in, he's stopped by Nichols. Oh, what a chance that was for North Bay. Can't ask for a much better opportunity late in a tied game. Jarvis couldn't beat Nichols. Big save for the Guelph goalie. Dickinson, he's had a flair for the dramatic. He's stopped. Puck stick came up on Kosmachuk. Referee says, no, that wasn't a high stick, and the Sleeman Center is not pleased.
Even Liberati thought he had it. It called against him. He stopped.
Finn golfs it toward the front of the net. Paul, head to Goodrow, trying to go wide on Finn. That won't be easy to do. Nichols had the puck come to him. He moved it over to a safe open side. Not out, though. Behind the net is Thompson. Finn's on him immediately. Line mates are on a change, so it's up to Thompson to try to hold on to the puck in there as long as he can. Reichel with some skating room. It hit a broken stick at center. That slowed Reichel down a little bit. Kirby Reichel in front to Fabry. Puck's in his skates. He's knocked down. Puck's still there in the slot area. Mitchell wraps it around, hoping Fabry can get to it. Blue just does. Not out. Harper keeps it in into the final minute of regulation time. Baltisberger looks up ice. Nobody there for Guelph, and that is icing. And the fans will let the referees have it again.
Scott Walker looking on and saying, thank goodness for Justin Nichols. Excellent play here as it's taken to the net by Jarvis, who goes to the backhand, but Nichols doesn't relent and keeps that 5-hole closed so the puck doesn't go in. And then Liberati gets his stick up along with Nick Paul into the face of Kosmachuk, who laid down on the ice there for a short period of time. No call was made. And here we are.
Face-off win for Goodrow. Tried to take it himself to the net. Almost did, too. Brock McGinn. He had a terrific season for Guelph. Kosmachuk, he was the leading scorer for the Storm. Can't get the pass in front. Goodrow. Long shot, that's up high, and Nichols from his knees catches it and hangs on.
Not a bad play, RJ. I mean, you're in an even man situation on the rush. You may as well get it to the net. If you get a rebound, great. If you don't, you get the stoppage and you get the offensive zone face-off. So Goodrow very well aware here and making a smart play, at least getting it to the net and getting the O-zone draw.
Goodrow, Thompson, Paul, they stay out there for the Battalion. Mitchell taking the draw, loses it to Goodrow. Blue just gets a shot. That was redirected and a quick right pad by Nichols. Kicked it aside, and then he stopped another sharp angle chance. And Justin Nichols has come up with some big saves here late.
And North Bay's been really good in the face-off circle, and that's especially evident here in this particular draw. Straight win back, and a dangerous shot indeed. Thompson there, Goodrow in front of the net. And a second shot by Goodrow from a bad angle, covered up by Nichols again.
Another big face-off, Goodrow and Mitchell. And another clean win for Goodrow. And Mitchell's getting kicked out of the draw. He did cheat early, but Goodrow saying, I want it anyway. Yeah, let that go.
Let it go. I got the win.
So Tyler Bertuzzi comes in to try to figure out Barclay Goodrow in the face-off circle. And they'll just make sure that the time on the clock is right. I think a little bit did leak off.
You're looking at usually a half a second in that situation. So we'll see if it does change. I mean, everyone's looking up. The officials are looking up to see if indeed it does get changed. So just a matter of figuring out the buttons, pressing the right ones, and then getting it switched.
Gives this Battalion line a little bit of time to rest too. Stan Butler elects to leave his top line out there. So here we go. Bertuzzi and Goodrow on the face-off. Another Goodrow win, comes back to the line, but it was out of the reach of McIver. Blue just lofts it right back in. That was pretty good weight too. Up high, forced Nichols to play it. 5 seconds to go. Puck's along the boards in the Guelph end. Trojanovic comes up with possession. He'll just hang on to it until the horn goes for the second straight game in the OHL Championship Series. We will go to overtime. What a series. Here's Jeff.
Yeah, and buckle up. Here we go. As RJ mentioned, second night in a row, we head to OT. Jason Dickinson, the hero last night. Tonight, will we have the same or a different hero in overtime? Stay tuned. Damian Cox, John Shannon, break down what you just saw. The North Bay Battalion forcing